Hey everybody, it's time to roll the win, or it's time to roll the bounce. I'm still contemplating redoing my underlayment on this table, and I saw on Brian's video where he had interviewed or talked to one of the gaming people in Nevada. They were getting some tables ready to ship out, refurbished. The guy said in the video they were using 1/8 inch neoprene underlayment. Well, this right here is 1/8 inch Scuba neoprene. So it's very slick on the top. I mean, look how far that dice rolls versus this dice wants to flip over, whereas this dice just will slide. So this is by itself obviously is too slick, but I've got it laid out on the layout because I'm trying to figure out how the bounce is. And I can tell you right now, there's a lot of bounce in that. But it's also slick. Watch these dice. I think if it had this on it, it'd give it just enough grip that it wouldn't want to go so weird. But there's a lot of bounce. You take this dice versus that, there's a lot of bounce. You're going to see a lot of bounce. So when I go on a bouncy table, try to throw low as opposed to attacking the back wall. See, they didn't even make it to the wall. Just boom, dug right in on this surface. So I don't know, I'm trying to figure it out. It's going to be a lot of work if I decided to do it. I only bought enough to do one end of the table. Either end, I was looking at my construction on this thing a little bit ago, either end's going to be a real pain. Then again, if you take it and kind of go to the wall with it, you can still make it stop. So it's going to be a decision I'm going to have to make later because, well, it'll be at least a weekend project to take all this apart. See how it bounce. Hard 4, I'll take it, but still, that's a lot of bounce. Dice don't grip on that surface right now. Obviously, it needs the microfiber over the top. I mean, there's a world of difference in slide. I mean, that dice will just scoot on that particular surface that's on that neoprene cover. What I need is something to lay over it. I'm going to have to look around, go buy a piece of cheap felt, something. That's a lot of bounce down there. That is a huge amount of bounce. I would think that if you could master that, you could master most any bouncy table out there. That bounce. So that's That's a lot of bounce. I just don't know if it's close enough, maybe too much. May have to look for a 16th inch neoprene or 16th inch Scuba fabric. It's kind of what they called it. It's actually bought that at a fabric store. If you go in low, figure out a way to get a little bit of a roll. That's really the trick on these bouncy tables with my style of toss is you just kind of want to flip it so that it stays low, stops near the wall. I don't know. Drop me a note. What do you think? Because I'm undecided, and I know it's going to be a pain for me to put that down. One didn't even make it. It just started hopping. Of course, see a lot of that these days. Boy, if you shoot from down here in the hook, I don't know. A lot of bounce. Might be, once you got it pulled, it doesn't have a lot of stretch to it. Well, it's got more than I thought it did. So I guess if you could stretch it down tight. Bring this down here for you to see. That's the thickness you can see right there. It's 1/8 of an inch thick, and it's got some give. It seems to have more give side to side than it does lengthwise. See, that's a pretty good bit. So I guess if you could get it stapled down and pulled pretty tight, maybe. Well, that's a lot of stretch right there. Can still feel it give though. Most of the bouncy tables I'm on, you go up there to them, you don't feel a lot of give. Let me know what you think. Otherwise, I don't know if I can make a decision to put myself through that much work. And it'd just be here's my dilemma. You hear the sound when I get over into this area where I toss to all the time. See how harder, you can tell I have beat the fool out of that area right in there, that underlayment. Alright, this is just something I thought I'd throw out there for your perusal. Y'all give me your thoughts.